Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. So, we know that we're the creators of our reality. We're mastering that. I know you're the creator of your reality. You know that you're creator of your reality. I know in the ultimate truth, you are an ascended master. You are everything you want to be. You have everything you need inside of you. It's just kind of been confusing on how to get there and how to access that stuff. And maybe you're like me. Maybe you had a rough childhood that you didn't even know was rough, and it started creating shit in your life that you didn't even realize was coming from there, and you searched for answers and you came to the spiritual world and you're like, woohoo, yay, and then not all of it worked for you, and ugh, boo. Then you decided to keep searching because you never give up. Love that about you. Or maybe your soul led you here. But whatever it was, you decided to take power of your own life. I know most of the people that I work with think they had a really fantastic childhood. They had fantastic parents, they were cared for, and it's the small little things that they never even would have linked. They never even thought was in there because the brain's really cool like that. And a lot of the people I work with had really obvious stuff, like really, really obvious stuff. And then other people are like me, where they're like, I didn't realize it was obvious because it felt normal. But nonetheless, I'm going to share with you a very, very powerful process. A very powerful process. Now, it's simple, and it works best when you do it daily. When you do it daily. You can do it for 5 minutes, you can do it for 10 minutes, you can do it for 20 minutes, you can do it for 30 minutes, you can do it for an hour. I suggest picking to something you can commit to, that you're going to do it every day. I'm not going to meditate for an hour every day. I'm not. In fact, it actually, I don't know. I don't feel great when I meditate for an hour every day with my eyes closed, sitting. Some people do. So whatever time structure this is going to work for you in, I suggest you pick that. And if you know, you can pick 5 minutes. Pick 5 minutes, just do something that you can easily say yes to. And when your brain, because it will, says, let's skip that. We'll skip that. You can say, okay, yeah. We totally can skip it, but it's just 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna do it for 5 minutes. We can skip it tomorrow. Your brain will go, oh, okay. And then tomorrow comes. Your brain says, well, let's skip it. And you say, yeah, tomorrow. You're not lying. Right? It says, well, I don't have time today. You're like, no, you're right. You're right. Tomorrow I'll skip it though. I'll skip it tomorrow. I'll make up the time tomorrow. Oh, okay. The key to your brain is not fighting it. The key to your brain is being the quintessential rebellious middle child and being like, yeah. Tomorrow though. Tomorrow. Right? So set up a practice that you can maintain. I wouldn't suggest anything under 5 minutes. But 5 to 10 minutes. You can do this in the morning. I prefer to do it at night. Works better for me at night because my body works best, my brain works best when I wake up and I move. And I sweat. And I move intentionally. And I work my ass off. That makes my brain happy. Whatever chemicals it's got going there, whatever is going on, my brain and my body respond really, really well to that. I've tried doing this in the morning, and for me, it's Depressionville. And do I know why? Nope. Do I want to add a story to that? Nope. I just say, okay, body, this is what works for you. Let's do it. And when I try something, I try it for 30 days minimum. 90 days is my typical, but after 30 days, if something just honestly is crap, I won't keep going. But a minimum is 30 days. 90 is ideal. So the process, I call it About Time. And it's something where at the end of the day, you sit in bed or in your chair or your favorite place or wherever, and you just relive your day. You relive your day. You don't change anything. You don't do anything different. You just go through your day and notice. Notice life. Okay, so you do something different. You notice life without stress. You notice life without the struggle. You notice it without the stories. You observe your day and you interact with it from the place of how lucky am I to get to wake up here. Even if there was fights, even if there was hard stuff, you go through it and you relive it. But when you're reliving it, notice where you can make the joke where you couldn't before, where you could get a little playful where you didn't get it before, where you can connect to yourself and to your loved ones a little bit more. Or maybe instead of, if you shoved a bunch of candy in your face, instead of feeling crappy about shoving a bunch of candy in your face, you cheered yourself on. You were like, yes, you totally smashed that, right? Or when you started eating the candy, maybe you notice yourself actually enjoying the candy instead of stuffing it in your face, right? Or whatever you do, maybe you do it slower, and instead of feeling the same way, instead of seeing it the same way, you purposely pick a different way to experience it. And see where it goes from there. So this process, when you're making these small little changes, when you're making these small little shifts, they're safe to your brain because they're just microscopic. And so patterns don't trigger. And so things don't feel so scary because it's not these big changes. It's already something you did, but it's just slightly different. Maybe you drink, right? Maybe when you were drinking water, you decided to have another glass of water, right? You're not trying to change anything. You're not trying to do anything. You're not even trying to get a result. That's the key to this process, is you're not trying to get anything. You're not trying to create your reality. You're not trying to do stuff. And I know that sounds so asinine because you're here because you want to change. You want to do stuff differently. I know. So to be able to come from a place where you're like, I'm going to be okay living this out the way it's playing out, is that paradox where sitting in that allows stuff to change. It allows it to be different because you're not trying to make it different. So it gives it the freedom. I experienced this recently with my oldest son, who's going to be going to college, and he thinks he wants to do this career. And as his mom, I'm like, there's no way you want to do that career. And then I'm trying to get on him. I'm like, well, you should do this and you should do that. And well, here, if you want to do this and you want to do that. And then I stepped way back and I was like, you don't need me to do this. I trust you. You have way too many voices. Listen to who you are. Don't listen to everybody outside of you, because he was confused. And not even 2 minutes later, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take a gap year and become a lifeguard. And he bent over laughing because I've been telling him for years he could go be a lifeguard. But as soon as I stepped out of it, as soon as I stopped trying to be well-meaning, and as soon as I got out of his lane and back into mine, he stepped through and he was able to come up with his own stuff, right? Where he's like, yeah, this is what I'm going to try out without the world on me. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. So I relive that stuff. I look at it. It's like, well, what is it? What does it look like when I'm not afraid for him? What does it look like when I just support him and I know that he can be supported? Because it's natural to live on this planet and have things come up. It's natural for us to get a little scared. It's natural for us to kind of exist and stretch. We've done it for so long, but the great thing about this is because you're doing it every day, because it's so small and it's so subtle, yet you know how to engage with it emotionally, you know how to live it, you know how to make it real to you, that your brain starts to accept it. And playfulness, doing something in play, recodes you in 10 to 20 times versus doing something in repetition is 200 to 400 times. So play means I have no outcome. Play means I have no agenda. Play means I pivot easily. It means I don't take it seriously. It means I come from a place of possibility. This is the process we're going to do. This is the process that has changed mine and countless of thousands of millions of people's lives across the globe. And if you've tried this before and haven't gotten any results, dare I suggest that you do it just for fun. Okay? I'm going to lead you through a process. Can't wait to see you there.